matchups.
Yeah, I saw a lot of typing in the chat that Kasva gave him an early victory just by picking the deli. So we'll see how this first game plays out. We've got MarineLorD matching up against Kasva. MarineLorD is the previous winner of the Winner Stays On series number 1 and number 2. He's in number 3 right now, and we'll see if Kasva can take one home. He's playing as the deli, and MarineLorD will be playing as the Chinese.
MarineLorD coming in with the mill right away. That's the standard way of playing Chinese nowadays. You supervise that mill, you get 20% more resources dropped off. And oftentimes when you do this, you even go for a second scout so you can maximize the amount of sheep together, because this build is sort of relying on the sheep that you're using.
Yeah, and every time villagers drop off to that mill, they give it a little bit more tax gold that can be collected. It means you don't have to go to gold, and it streamlines your build a little bit. It's just one of those things. It took a few weeks to figure that out, right, Lita?
Absolutely. Now, Kasva is also opening with a mill, and here the idea is that he's going to have a berry gathering bonus with the deli, so makes some sense to go for the mill as well. Plus, you can start researching your eco upgrades right away with the deli.
And he's going to get that rolling immediately, going for the wheelbarrow technology, survival techniques queued up behind that. And what do you think the opening is going to be here for Kasva? Is he going to play a little bit more defensive, or is he going to play an aggressive style?
I think he wants to play an aggressive style. Chinese late game is so powerful, you don't want to go into Imperial here. And the deli can still try to secure the sacred site and sort of just force MarineLorD to make a move. Now, the Sanctity upgrade that allowed you to capture sacred sites was moved to Feudal Age, so you can't start researching it right away, unlike you could previously. So it's not as easy to secure those sacred sites anymore with the deli, but I guess that's still the plan for Kasva.
And you can see these crazy long research times in here for Kasva. Even though they're free, it's going to take a long time for that stuff to come in. He's just kind of stacking it up at the beginning when he can. In the meantime, we've got MarineLorD still gathering from the sheep. He's still scouting for more. He's got quite a few sheep chasing his scout, Lita.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice herd over there. And speaking of Kasva, he barely has any. Kasva's got 2 sheep close to his town center and 3 pursuing him, so looks like MarineLorD has to be happy with the fact that he collected 11 sheep.
Yeah, that's going to be very nice for him. And then I'm sure once he gets up to Feudal Age, we might see 3 or 4 more scouts on the field, bringing in the carcasses if possible. Although I'm looking at his map right now. Okay, he's got some deer to the left side and then some up in the corner as well that he can take.
I feel like you could mill the one on the left side. It's a matter of, do you want to invest into professional scouts? Because if you do, you probably want to combine that with a mill that's supervised. But professional scouts is fairly expensive, especially on the gold cost. So you really gotta make sure that you maximize your efficiency with that. Probably even steal the hunt from Kasva's side if you really want to get that upgrade.
Okay, so neither player building their monuments yet. Okay, nope, never mind. There's the Dome of the Faith for Kasva, and he's going to be going up to Age 2. Obviously, Dome of the Faith allows you to produce scholars for half the price. So he's going to up his research technology speed and get some of those on the field. And also think about getting the tech to get these sacred sites. And he's going forward with 3 villagers right now, Lita.
I think he wants to tower those sacred sites because he gathered some stone. Now your outposts cost wood, but if you want to fortify them, you need some stone. And I'm suspecting he's either gonna stonewall this, or will try to tower these and capture them. The Delhi infantry can also make walls, so that could be an option as well for him. Make a couple of spearmen. It looks like he's just going to wall MarineLorD out, and will try to take the sacred sites.
And stone walls too. He's not he's not messing around here. Going forward with 3 villagers at 4 minutes and 30 seconds for the stone walls. He's also going to have to go to the other side. Now I see he's got the foundations there. And that's 3 more villagers, Lita. So 6 villagers from his economy walking forward. This is a lot of idle time for Zico.
I feel like it's sort of an all-in style play, although if he gets both sacred sites with Sanctity, he is going to have a pretty decent amount of gold income from the sacred sites, so he might be able to make up for it, but MarineLorD sees the villagers on the right side, so he will know what's up.
Yeah, he's been tracking this for a while with that scout. He's going to see the stone walls, And I wonder if he goes to the other side or if he just tries to be annoying here with this scout. It looks like he's opting to be a little bit annoying and deny these foundations. Kasva can't quite complete them. He's trying.
Oh, that must be so frustrating here for Kasva. The thing, though, is that MarineLorD is already coming out with a horseman, so he only needs to hold this door for a couple more seconds.
Is there a way for Kasva to even wall behind this other foundation? No, Kasva's sending his scout now. Still trailing the sheep, is attacking this with 3 villagers and a scout, but the horseman is on the way, Lita.
It is, oh boy, disaster. And that horseman isn't particularly powerful, but it's just enough to push the villagers back. Oh, a bait?
No, and all of this effort, so he sent 6 villagers forward right away.
Oh, he gets the wall.
All of this effort is basically denied, but he somehow got the wall. The horseman is still stuck inside.
Yeah, I love the move that he pulled back, so the horseman, the scout, follows, and he gets the walls up.
How did that even happen there? How did that happen? That the horseman was still on the foundation, it was still being built, and now Kasva has the walls, and he's gonna lose 3 villagers here, but it is well worth it, in my opinion, to lose those vills in exchange for getting that wall up, because if there's a hole, your entire strategy is gone.
Absolutely. And now the thing is that MarineLorD has nothing to get through those walls with. He needs the siege upgrade to make siege towers or to make rams, and that's gonna take some time. And if I'm not mistaken, Sanctity is 2 minutes away still for Kasva. That's the main problem. He should get another scholar from the Dome of Fate, garrison that to accelerate the research, because otherwise this is gonna take too long.
Yeah. What is the plan now for MarineLorD? You see the stone walls. You're going to see them on the other side with your horsemen. You can't go through. And you know that Kasva is likely to be going for the Sacred Site victory. What do you build up into? Are you just trying to punch through the walls right away? Or are you focusing on your eco? What's going on?
There are a couple of options. You see, MarineLorD is mining stone like a madman, so I'm suspecting there is going to be a second Town Center Song Dynasty boom here, because his resources are really looking like that. On the other hand, if he just booms, he's going to get punished for this, because it's going to take some time to get through those walls. You need to get the siege upgrade, you need either siege towers, rams, or something like that. And Kasva could wall a second layer behind this one anytime, so it's a little risky for MarineLorD. Looks like he just wants to boom.
And Kasva's going for a boom of his own with the second town center already on the way. Maybe he thinks MarineLorD will overinvest in military to get through the walls, and he can jump ahead in villagers in that time period. Also gives him some time to get the researches in, but it was 6 villagers early, Lita. Like, that's a huge investment for these walls.
That's a lot of investment indeed. It's not just the time it takes to build it, it's also walking forward and also mining the stone you need for this. Looks like Kasva is booming on a second town center as well. Now that's a little surprising here to me. I would think that if you go for all these stone walls, you just go for sort of an all-in, wall as much as I can, play this cheesy game and just secure the sacred sites and win.
Yeah, second scout on the way from Kasva too, so maybe he's thinking about pulling in some of these carcasses. That horseman from MarineLorD is giving him some vision too. He'll see the second TC behind this if he dips up to the north a little bit. He managed to get 1 unit inside of Kasva's economy.
That's actually a very annoying horseman because it could potentially snipe the prelates that are, or the scholars that are coming forward, and oh, look, like MarineLorD is moving up with the Barbican of the Sun. That's a defensive landmark, and it's not really going to help you getting through those walls, but it actually is good to sort of set up a forward position over here.
Yeah, it can also hit some units that, or maybe villagers that are trying to repair walls potentially behind there. So not a bad thing, and it's going to increase the speed at which he produces villagers too as he goes for the dynasty. Attempting to get up to the Song Dynasty, 35% faster villager production on that. As MarineLorD takes the fight against the scout in the middle. This is a tough one to judge. Who wins this one?
I think the horseman should win it, but the scout can heal back, so All he needs to do is just run away, heal up, and then come back. Second scout cleans this up, and there is the first scholar moving out for Kasva, followed by the second one. So from this point on, MarineLorD is on a timer, but he's getting close to Castle Age. So I feel like Kasva's window might already be closing, because there's the blacksmith coming for MarineLorD, and that's going to be for the infantry siege upgrade, so he can make rams or siege towers.
For anyone that's wondering, the FB in Kasva's name does not stand for Facebook. He does stream on Twitch, and it's his team name. He is from Turkey, and he is part of a team, so if you're wondering about that, there's your answer.
The horseman is still alive, and you see MarineLorD has been pretty aggressive with it, trying to snipe the scholars, and the scouts are kind of slow catching up, so Kasva needs to be careful not to lose those scholars. That one horseman is just so annoying here.
I like how Kasva has the villagers on the left-hand side. He never sent them back. He made the lumber camp. And he's got them to defend potentially behind as the horseman continues to be annoying with that scholar, but Kasva's on the case with his scouts. He does not have villagers on the other side, though. So if he gets too tunnel visioned over here on the left, there is a possibility that MarineLorD can punch through on the right when he's not paying attention. There's really nothing there to defend.
Indeed. The countdown started at about 11 minutes, so if we get to 21 minutes without any of those sacred sites being neutralized, then MarineLorD will lose the game, although that horseman is still doing all the work.
It's so annoying. Okay, he's gonna die now. Good. I think Kasva needed that. MarineLorD was being very, very annoying with that horseman, and now Kasva is going for a second layer of stone walls. He tried to get away with the stone wall gate. It didn't work out because of the Barbican of the Sun. So he's going for a second layer behind.
Here comes the siege upgrade though for MarineLorD, but Kasva is going up to Castle Age, so I feel like now he needs to just go for Springolds. Springolds can snipe rams, they can snipe siege towers, and from this point on, this just turns into Stonewall Springold gameplay.
Yep. This is like some sort of defense scenario here. Lidakor is some campaign mission where Kasva needs to defend the pass for 10 minutes until the timer runs out. Now, MarineLorD is also going for a wall on the right side. That's interesting. Palisade walls behind this, so maybe worried about some counter raids, and he wants to just focus all of his attention on the walls to the left from Kasva.
That makes some sense, because the thing is that now MarineLorD has no idea what Kasva is doing, and that gold income from the sacred site is still considerable, so you gotta be careful not to get surprised by like 10 lancers running into your eco.
There's a ram on the left now from MarineLorD. So he's building a singular ram. It's right behind the Barbican of the Sun, there it is, and Kasva going for some barracks behind the double layers of walls. Also bringing the relics, too.
That's a clever thing, and it looks like the right-hand side, that villager might not be able to finish the walls if Kasva gets the scouts out there, but he needs a gate for that, so looks like the villager is too far.
And MarineLorD was one step ahead of him there, walling that off preemptively. Doesn't want Kasva to do any damage to his eco, and MarineLorD actually going for a second ram now above that 2 layers of walls from Kasva. So he's thinking about a push, but also his economy does not look too bad behind this. I mean, he's had 2 TCs producing villagers. He got up to that Song Dynasty quite early. So his numbers are looking pretty good with 68 villagers. And then we look over at Kasva, and he's sitting at 58 villagers.
That is indeed the case, although Kasva's got the 2 sacred sites, and he also has a couple of relics, free relics working for him, so the actual resource income on food and gold is better for Kasva, plus his men-at-arms are also stronger than the palace guards of MarineLorD. So MarineLorD will need a considerable push here to get through this one. What I'm surprised about is that Kasva hasn't made a single Springgold up until now.
Yeah, there's really nothing to deal with the Rams as of yet, and those walls are going to crumble. Only 1 layer of wall now between Kasva and MarineLorD's army, and there is an army behind this from MarineLorD. He's got some palace guards, he's got 2 Springolds of his own, and he's got another ram following up here. Kasva is going to try and engage with his own men-at-arms, And I think he's just going to dive right for those Springolds.
Looks like he wants to do that indeed, but that allows the Rams to open up the walls. And as I said, I'm so surprised that Kasva hasn't made a single Springald up until now.
And I really like how MarineLorD is pulling all of these men-at-arms out of position with his Springolds. He's following up with the Palace Guards, but now this means that his Rams are a little bit exposed, and the army is not there to flood in the gap in the walls. So Kasva, if he kills these Rams, he could theoretically wall behind this again.
And there's crossbows coming out for him as well, so picking off those Palace Guards will be rather easy. And in the end, MarineLorD still lost his Springald, so sure enough he pulled off the men-at-arms, but he lost his siege weapons. About 6 minutes remaining on the countdown.
Is it enough? I mean, Kasva has a lot of production over here, and he's got 3 of these barracks with a scholar garrisoned inside, so it's going to be faster production for him. You can really see it here as the men-at-arms numbers start to pile up. Kasva trying to take out those Rams, trying to keep his army alive so it can engage against the Palace Guards. MarineLorD is on the clock. Kasva just needs to keep up his production right now.
Absolutely, and it's getting better and better for Kasva because, as you said, he's just flooding those men-at-arms out. His resource income is better, so he can really just spam those. And if those Rams go down for MarineLorD, it's going to be very difficult to break through all of these barracks and archer ranges and whatnot.
A nest of bees now being mixed in from MarineLorD, but the numbers from Kasva, the production from Kasva is impressive here, Lidakor. He's going for that keep over to the right of this battle to secure the sacred site a little bit more, and he's winning the fights.
He is winning indeed, although he has to be careful now because on the right side there's a completely exposed wall section. If just a single Palace Guard goes up to that wall with a siege tower, he can come out on the other side with the gate and just run in and neutralize the sacred site.
Okay, men-at-arms still engaging against the Palace Guards. The Palace Guards are going to clear this up, but there's always more production behind from Kasva, and he's sending villagers forward, and there's the wall again!
There is the wall indeed, and what I would love to see from him is actually a defensive tower on the walls. Because that has a Springald emplacement by default, and that would help so much against the siege, and the crossbows could also mount on the walls, and there is the tower coming in.
There we go. Stone Wall Tower on the way. The Barbican of the Sun will not be enough to counter that. The gate from MarineLorD is going down on the right side. Kasva should be able to get in, but with how much, I don't know. Sacred Site victory ticking down. Do you remember exactly when he gained control of that?
11 minutes something, so between 21 and 22 minutes in this game, so in less than 3.5 minutes, Kasva wins this game on a Sacred Site victory.
Is MarineLorD switching up his angle of attack? I don't see any military on the left. It feels like he might be switching over to the right. Yeah, he's pulling his military through his economy and maybe thinking about going over to that right side, and we'll see if Kasva recognizes this early.
He needs to. He needs to know that, okay, MarineLorD's got 3 minutes, there is no way he breaks through on the left, so the only chance for him is the right side, and a second layer of stone walls for Kasva on the right could potentially seal the deal.
Kasva does have a scout over on that side as he takes out a Springald on the left, and he'll move in on the production buildings. Let's see if Kasva notices that. I think he might have seen it, but he's fully focused on the left side, pushing in there. MarineLorD is going to make some siege, and he's going to try and get in through those walls on the right.
I actually like this move from Kasva, because he can kill a lot here from MarineLorD, and he's only 2 minutes away from victory, so probably just pull a couple more villagers, add 3 more layers of stone walls, and be done with it.
Yeah, and if you kill a significant portion of MarineLorD's economy, even if he takes back the sacred sites, you're going to have the advantage to just play a standard style game, right? As he comes in here, he's killing more villagers from MarineLorD. Kasva is sitting at 85 villagers. MarineLorD is sitting at 84, so Kasva has the advantage.
And Kasva is sitting on 3 relics, plus, of course, the sacred sites. There is the second layer of stone walls. I feel like MarineLorD's push is too slow for this.
Yep, MarineLorD completely caught off guard by this strategy. Even though he delayed it at first with the scout, he killed a few villagers. He got in with that horseman to be a little bit annoying. Kasva is going to win this game, most likely.
It very much seems like it. 1 minute remaining from the countdown, and you see Men-at-Arms are also heading towards the Hunt on the right side, and as you said, even if MarineLorD somehow neutralizes this, his eco is going to be battered after this, and it's just so close now for Kasva.
Delhi haters in chat are in shambles right now. This Kasva is making it work with the early Sacred Site captures, and it looks like it's going to be a Sacred Site victory. And even if MarineLorD were to take this stuff back, the amount of villagers that he's lost right now, it seems like it would just be a standard victory for Kasva, even if the Sacred Sites were taken over.
Absolutely, he's down to 65, Kasva is at 90, plus the relics, plus the sacred sites, and I think we have less than 1 minute remaining over here. There is already Springald set up to snipe the siege, keep coming in as well. I don't see MarineLorD being able to take the sacred sites.
No, this game is over, and it's a turnaround here. Kasva takes the victory unexpectedly with a crazy strategy on French Pass. He sent forward 6 villagers to make it happen, Lita, and I think that's what he needed to do, just fully commit to it. You forced MarineLorD into some action, trying to go for a ram push, but you had production behind. You had your scholars garrisoned in the barracks. Your men-at-arms were coming out at a ferocious rate, and it was enough to push him back.
Absolutely, and Kasva really capitalized on that map control, so he picked up the relics, secured the sacred sites, as you said, he played on 2 town centers as well, so it's not like Kasva just went to 20 villagers full all-in into this one. He actually had a legitimate economy behind this, so even if MarineLorD somehow neutralized the sacred sites, Kasva would have had an advantage here, but quite a lot of cheese in this build order, but we gotta credit Kasva for the idea, because even though it was somewhat obvious that he will try something like this, the execution was pretty decent.
I love the fact that Kasva added that second TC early, because he knew the walls were going to force MarineLorD into military investment, and he couldn't really boom up his economy as much. Now, this strategy might really only be effective once against a player like MarineLorD. He's probably already got ideas in his mind if it happens again, but once is all that Kasva needed to get the victory.
Absolutely. Just for reference, MarineLorD had more villagers for most of the game, but Kasva had 5,000 more food and 7,000 more gold collected.
All right. So that was an impressive win for sure from Kasva, and game number 1 is going to him. Now we look at game number 2, and it's going to be played on Danube, and it will be the Mongols against the English.
Ooh. Now I don't know what to say, because we've been saying, okay, 4-1 MarineLorD, but after this showing from Kasva, this might be closer than what we